If you were to sort of summarize what drives you and what motivates you, how would you go about explaining that?
First of all, I really love being outdoors and skiing and using my body and being in the nature and have this silent place with this slow kind of living where you have time to reflect and think. But there's also a reason why I don't just travel to a hut and stay there for a long time. And that's because I want to take on these challenges and feel the accomplishment on the other side. To show myself what I'm capable of doing is just the best feeling ever. And I think it plays a very big role in the person I've become and how I feel about myself and how I react with others.
That feeling of accomplishment in these sort of pursuits, it really translates when people read about it or hear about it in different ways, maybe come to your talk or in other forms. I think can be incredibly inspiring for a lot of people.
And you can also draw parallels to very many other perspectives of life.
Yeah. It transfers quite well. And I think there's something about, I want to try to get this right. If you do an expedition like this, or maybe you climb to a mountain, it's very challenging and difficult, but it's also there's something very beautiful about the simplicity of it. Because either you reach the top of the mountain or you didn't. And it's very clear what to do. I mean, in your normal life, in most people's jobs, the end goal can be quite complex, and it depends on a lot of different people coming together to make something happen. And of course, there are a lot of people supporting someone like yourself doing an expedition, but the actual doing of it, and of course the training and the planning and everything, is something that you do, and you prove to yourself that I'm capable of doing this. But in most other areas of life, there's so many different people and factors, and also the goal is a little bit muddy very often. It's not as simple. So the distinction I want to make is between simple and easy. It's very difficult to do it, but it's simple in terms of the thinking about it.
Yes.
Like the goal in itself is simple, but very difficult.
Yeah, I've actually thought a lot about that. And I feel that's also something that I take with me from this experience, is the goal felt very overwhelming when I was standing at the start line. But the journey towards it was really clear. It was just to take one step at a time and 1 kilometer. But at home, you can have a goal that is as overwhelming, but the path isn't that clear.
Yeah.
But you still have to do the same. You still have to take one step at a time. You can't do many things at the same time. And to just draw the parallel between those, it has been an important lesson to me, I think.
I get this association as well in terms of stress. Like a lot of people in today's society feel a lot of stress more than we did, like say 100 years ago or 2,000 years ago or several thousand years ago. And I've been wondering whether that, in some part at least, relates to the difficulty of the path. Because in the past, we used to do very hard things, but the path was very clear.
Yes.
And such as in your pursuit, the path is quite clear, although it's very difficult. So I feel that as humans, maybe we get quite overwhelmed, but when we're not just doing hard things, but it's difficult to see sort of what's the clear path, what's the next step, what's the next 10 steps.
Yes.
If that's difficult or muddy or cloudy, then it can stress us out.
Yes, and at home you feel that you always can do something. You can always answer that mail or send that application or things like that. But on the expedition, life is, besides from being a tough challenge, is also really simple and easy, because you just have to walk your kilometers and you have to melt your snow and make your dinner. And if you just keep the routines, you're good. And you can't really do anything more. So you actually give yourself the opportunity to rest, or you allow yourself to to feel that, okay, I'm done for today and tomorrow is a new day. But at home, you always feel that you could have done something more. And I think that stresses you out.
Yeah, I completely agree. That's quite a tough feeling, especially for someone who's quite conscientious. It's quite can be quite taxing mentally to think that, oh, there's always like this little thing I could do, and then you do that little thing, and then you think, oh, maybe there's another thing, and it never ends, right? It never ends. So modern life has a lot of that, and also it relates. I guess it reminds me of like this distinction between what's urgent and what's important. When the path is very clear, you do what's important. Always do what's important. But in our daily lives with, regular jobs and these sort of things, you can spend quite a lot of time and effort on things that are urgent but not necessarily important.
Yes.
So there's a notification, there's an email, there's something to be sent and done. It doesn't really matter, but it seems very urgent, so I'm going to do it. So sort of you tend to waste a lot of time and effort on that, and then you don't have the progress that you're expecting because it's not really important. So then you get into this stressing cycle. You spend a lot of time and effort doing urgent things, but non-important things.
Yes. And I've also heard that the more important something feels to you, the more you're willing to procrastinate it and take the more urgent thing first, because you want to have to sit down and be in the right state of mind and have enough time, and then you just do these stupid things first because it's more easy and feels less important, so you just start on those
first.
And then you just procrastinate what's really important to you.
Absolutely.
And you get even more stressed.
Absolutely. It's like a stress spiral.
Yes.
Another thing that I've been wanting to ask you is, you've had this big goal for 6 years. You work towards it every day. Then you get to do the actual expedition. You complete it. You reach like the biggest goal you've set for yourself so far in your life, which, quite frankly, not a lot of people get to have that experience. And then what you feel afterwards, how does that feel once the dust settles, so to speak?
It's a bit strange because I have thought of the South Pole every day the last 6 years, and to just be finished the project is strange to not have this goal in front of me anymore. At the same time, I'm really happy that it turned out all good. I'm wondering what I have thought if I had to be evacuated or didn't reach my goal. It feels less meaningful doing training and life in general. Things that I do feels less meaningful than it did when it was because of the goal.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it has taken a lot of focus the last couple of years. So every exercise that I did or every hike or anything was always with the South Pole in the back of my head.
Yeah.
So now I'm actually really looking forward to get some experiences because of the experience itself and not because that I'm going to the South Pole.
Yeah.
So there's a
plus and minuses,
yes.
A little bit of a relief and also a little bit of a lack of sense of meaning.
Yeah,
a
bit of
time.
emptiness. I'm still at the high of coming home and getting all the media and congratulations and everything like that, and feeling accomplished. But when things settles more, I think maybe I will feel more emptiness and the lack of having this goal. But I don't know. I also have some plans because I put my education on hold to be able to do this. So now I'm going to university next autumn. So I have some plans, and I think that's important. And if I had started to work and was going back to work, I think it would be a bit different than it is now that I'm actually starting on a new chapter in life.
New chapter, a new adventure.
Yeah.
What are you planning on studying?
I've applied to Trondheim, to geology.
Okay.
Yeah, so I hope I will get in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
May I ask, why did you pick that in particular?
I think it's really interesting, and I hope to be able to choose the path to go more into the glacier kind of stuff. And I know there's an exchange program to Svalbard and to Arctic geology, which I think is really exciting and something that I want to work with and that I can combine with being in these Arctic polar regions. And yeah, maybe being there in a more, like in a bigger sense than just for an expedition, but maybe being a scientist or that would be nice.
In a completely different capacity.
Yeah, exploring in another way.
Yeah.
I feel like I have been exploring just things about myself and exploring Antarctica for the first time for me, but it has already been explored, and I think the English term polar explorer is not very suitable for what I am. I think the Norwegian word polfarer is a lot better. I don't think that I can use this polar explorer term because we are not exploring anymore. But if I were to go there as a scientist doing those kind of things, I think it would be more fitable and give even more meaning to the expedition.
Yeah, I love that. That's a great way of thinking about it. If you appreciated that, then click here for more content like this. Go on, click it. And don't forget to subscribe. Be well.